Welcome back. I'm Brandon from Nameless Improv Comedy. It's a week before con, and you don't have your costume together yet either, so don't judge me. That's my job, is judging me. One of the prizes for coming to the Nameless Improv Comedy Show and giving good suggestions is this little sword right here, which I'm now going to start to paint. Before, I had that hole right there, and if you're a smart person, what you do is you take one of your scrap pieces of foam and cut it to fit. Then you cover each side, the inside and the outside, with your rubber cement of whatever kind you like, or even super glue. And then you put it in there, cut it down, sand it, and then after you plasti dip, you can't see it very much anymore. You can just kind of hide it as a battle damage or flaw. If you're dumb like me, you plasti dip the entire thing, a very time-consuming process, and then realize you have a hole straight to the rod there. In which case, you then take a piece of spare EVA foam, cut it out, and hot glue it in. Hot glue is nice because it's fast and it is flexible. I'll use it a lot for my strapping of my armors, but this isn't an armor tutorial because I don't have time to record that. I used matte black for the plasti dip. I do this because the low areas that shine through will look black, like it might happen. So a low area that my paint doesn't get to might show up just as normal wear and tear. For my fin helmet, I used white plasti dip because I want its base layer to be white. I probably don't even need to really paint this, except I'm going to. What I'm going to do is add details in the low area of silver, as if the helmet was actually steel and the white was the paint, even though it's actually white and the silver's the paint. I know, it's a little switcheroo. It's backwards. You can use spray paint. One of my favorite techniques is to take some rag, take some spray paint, put on a safety mask, spray the rag, and then wipe across the object you want to paint. What this does is it doesn't really hit the low areas, but it does apply it to the high areas. So it does look more like a real object, a weathered object. The more difficult route is to go back and add that later. And I'm being difficult. This is just super cheap acrylic paints from Walmart. This was a container for lettuce, kale, and I like to use it as a disposable palette. Then you paint. I mean, I go crazy mixing paints, and I really love the effects. The last time I made any props was the first time I actually used the acrylics and not just spray paint and the wipe technique. And I went overboard and got a good effect that I really liked, and then kept painting. Know when to stop, kids. Also know that a week before con, you have failed at all of your weight loss goals. And you will never be in Thor shape. Anyway, when you set up to paint, you need to have a dry, clean area. Mats work fine. I mean, just, newspaper. That's why you might hear the AC in the background. It is hot and humid as, well, I would say balls, but no. It's just as hot as humid as Western New York this time of year. So, when applying the paint, it could mess things up, so I have the AC running. You want to let each layer dry and not rush it too much. And if you're like me, you're impatient and you will rush it too much. So, have other things ready to paint while the other layers dry, so you don't lose interest and go play Kerbal Space Program, forget your painting, come back and your paint's all dried, and you have to put more on your palette, and you just fail, like the failure you fail as. Well, I just fail. Like the failure I fail as. Nothing complicated here. Cheap ass brushes. And acetone. Paint thinner. Mix and paint. I'm not going to show you me doing that. I'm not going to show you me doing... No, I said it right the first time. Because that's going to be boring. So instead, I'm just going to start painting. Remember, last weekend in July, come see the Nameless Improv Comedy Show at TatsuCon. We will be giving away cool things. Also, it's funny. Come for the funny. Please? Pretty please? I made videos. I didn't make cookies. And here we have the finished product, plus a new camera angle. And I wish I had some cheesy game show music to play right about now. But I have painted it, painstakingly painted it, professionally. Not professionally, I was just trying to go for alliteration there, and it failed. I used several layers of mixed, just super cheap acrylic paints from Walmart. And then several layers of clear coat. I used probably more layers of clear coat than I needed, but it makes it shiny and kind of covers up the rough texture. You can almost not even see where I messed up a lot. I actually kind of thought I was going to mess up on this project more, and it'd be more entertaining and hilarious when I react to my hilarious, horrible skills. When all really you have is right there, right here. The handle turned out alright, I think. Oh, look, brush. Pieces of brush. So remember, you can win this coming to the Nameless Comedy Show. I also threw together this. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. But it's cool. And it's flexible. And it's actually a lot less flexible now that I've painted it. I kind of didn't expect that. I didn't expect it. I kind of expected it to remain as floppy because I put no reinforcement in this one at all. But it's actually really, really solid because it's short, so nothing to flop around with. And as it's only a couple days before con, you should get back to finishing your cosplay. As I should get back to finishing my cosplay. Ah, crap, my cosplay.